Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 1st to the 15th, 2025 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my websites, danehartguidedmessages.com or daneharttarot.com. They're listed in the description box below, and I look forward to reading for you. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Aries, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Ooh, let me move this over. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. There we go. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Let's move this up a little bit. All right, Aries, give me a moment just to take everything in. All right. At the heart of it all is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right, we are in Virgo time period right now. So you are going to see this time period as a time of moving forward, focusing on money or what you value as much as money. So this is going to be a time, Aries, where you're really looking at prosperity, however you want prosperity to bloom in your life, and you are focusing on really getting things moving. Now, you can be a bit frustrated, and the reason for that is that the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. So we as human beings, we like things to move quite quickly, and so we can get frustrated when it takes time, when we can feel like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming, or it's not moving the way that I wanted to, and I'm never going to get there. And then we start putting our time frame on things instead of kind of releasing and saying in divine timing, I will see everything move forward. And we're still being active, right? We're still being proactive, but we're taking that fear of time and we're releasing it, which is, I find it to be very beneficial. And it is just, really sitting there within ourselves and saying, I move forward in prosperity and in success. So this is going to be a time where we're really focusing on building that prosperity and that success. It brings us then to the challenge. And this is the Four of Wands. Now, we can want things to move quickly, especially around, kind of bigger things, or we can want big things to happen much more quickly, like moving house or new job or relationships or whatever it is. We can sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not meeting those milestones, or that thing isn't happening that I thought it would. And Spirit is saying here, be calmer and be nicer to yourself. Release kind of others' expectations and really focus on what you want to build for your life and for what you need. And with the Four of Wands as also a challenge, we are having a hard time celebrating ourselves. You might be a late bloomer. You might, kind of be working things out or have gone through difficult, trials and tribulations in your life focused around money and work and what you really want and how you want to move forward. And this is going to be a time where you need to celebrate the small things, and you need to kind of like take in that knowledge and that understanding. It moves us then to where we need to focus. And this is on transformation. This is the Death card. This is Scorpio energy. Time frame of Scorpio is October 23rd to November 21st. So what you're going to see here is that there is this transformation of self, transformation of spirit, dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, looking at things very differently than you had looked at it before, and really starting to free yourself, really starting to say, oh, I can do this, or I don't want to do that, or, how do I want to move forward? Where is it that I'm headed? But what you're going to see is that things that you had thought kind of were over, you're looking at with a new light, in a new way, meaning that you could hear from people, oh, in this time frame, like, at this age, you couldn't possibly, achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Why even dream it? And now you're going to be looking at that and be like, why? Why? I'm not the person I was yesterday. I'm transforming. I'm embracing my success, my prosperity, what I desire for my life. You're also going to look at things that you kind of like let kind of fall to the wayside, like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't need this, or I'm not focusing on that. That's not me anymore. And then you're saying, well, why isn't that me? And why am I letting those people judge me when I am the only judge of my soul and myself, right? As long as you move forward in love and in kindness, in respect, and you do no harm, you move forward in that energy, and it brings you enlightenment, it brings you deeper understanding. And it moves us then to the energy that is moving away. And this is the Five of Cups. We have been through a time frame in our life where we have had to change the way that we look at things. And we have learned the lesson of change your mind, change your life. So much of what we focus on mentally, emotionally, is what we manifest forward, or what comes forward even if we don't want it. And so here we've come out of, and we're coming out of this time frame of having really berated ourselves. This is why Spirit is saying, like, not meeting the expectations of others, or like feeling like you're not keeping up with the Joneses type of deal. And here you're releasing that and saying, but I am living the exquisite me. Like, I am living an exquisite life. Even if you're sitting there and saying, Dane, I have so many things I want to change. I have so many different ways I want to move forward and set myself free. With the Five of Cups, you're turning towards love, you're turning towards healing, you're turning towards a compassionate understanding of your soul and what you want, and how you're moving forward for yourself in love and in joy. And it brings us to your strength, which is the Ace of Wands. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you specifically, Aries, a gift that is just for you. It's kind of tailor-made. That's because you are a fire sign energy, and the wands represent fire sign energy in the minor arcana. This is passion, but this is illumination of the darkness. This is doubts and fears kind of falling away. It's kind of like, well, I do have answers. Or, that can be one person's truth, but it's not my truth. Again, walk gently on this earth. Walk kindly, in your heart, in your soul, with yourself. And you will see miraculous things happen, like miracles happening. And it's not those big, miracles that we all really want to see, but it's those small, little, everyday miracles that are very easy to overlook. But now you're calling them forward. And now you're seeing an illumination of passion, of creativity, of insight. And it brings us to your near future, which is the Three of Pentacles. And this is collaboration. This is working with others in order to have, more money flowing forward, or in order to really embrace your prosperity and your success. You're not in this all alone. Now, this could be as simple as, talking with coworkers at work, but this is also this sense of getting new ideas, getting new inspiration, looking at things in a different way. And as you're doing so, you're calling forward your prosperity, you're calling forward your success. You are, kind of like weeding things out and being inspired. And I see this more as, instead of everybody coming together like at the table and bringing ideas forward, though that can be highly beneficial, you are going to find that you are inspired by many different people in many different avenues of life, that you can hear about on social media, that you can, see in your day-to-day existence. And you're like, wow, that really inspires me. How am I utilizing this inspiration to walk forward and to embrace my prosperity, my success, what I desire in my life? You're also going to see the role that is right for you. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there are three people, right? There's the builder, there's the like the supervisor, and the person, I guess, whose building is being built. But there's the sense of, who's the loudest one, right? Who does all the work? Who is looking at it and saying, it's not really what I had envisioned in the first place, even if they don't know if that vision can come true. What you're looking at here in your near future is kind of looking at all the different roles that people play, all the different roles that we play in our day-to-day existence, and calling out what is out of harmony with your prosperity and your success. You can even be calling out certain aspects of your personality, certain aspects of what you want to build, how you want to move forward, that aren't suiting you anymore, and seeing where you give voice to what has overwhelmed you or stopped you in the past. It moves us then to the advice, and this is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is the advice of, it's not going to be as black and white as we want it to be, Aries. There are numerous shades of gray that come forward. There are insights and understandings that are going to be given to us during this time. And with the Two of Swords, what you're going to see is that the paths that open up to you are not necessarily the conventional paths or the ones that you had thought. So you're going to be really learning during this time to trust your intuition, or really seeing yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting your insight, trusting your deeper understanding, and seeing yourself kind of break out of, well, this is just how things have to be, and really embracing your own creativity, your own, power, determination, fire, and focus. And also, saying to yourself, well, is this what I want? Where do I want to be? How do I want to move forward? It moves you to the environment that you're in. And during the first half of September, the environment here is one of needing to honor your story, needing to heal, needing to connect with your voice. Your voice could have gotten lost in like everybody else's voice. And it's like, well, that's not right for me. That's not what my soul is saying. That's not how I need to move forward. You also have to be very mindful, because there can be a lot of things that you are juggling during this time. And so be very mindful of your sleep, be very mindful of letting yourself rest, and also honoring your story, not poo-pooing yourself or comparing yourself to others. So that's going to be very important here. It moves us then to the hopes and the fears, which is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is balance, financial balance, what you value as much as money, balance coming forward. The fear is that it will always be out of harmony, or you'll never be seen as being worth it. Everybody else is going to tell you what they're worth, and they're just going to take advantage. This is a time when you're transforming. You are, here you have the gift of the Ace of Fire. She has fire, in her hands, which I like. She's embracing her magic, her fire, there we go, her tenacity, her radiance of self. But she's also saying, this is what has me stand out. This is what helps me embrace my talents. And so you're finding a balance within yourself for the way that you want to move forward, for the success that you need, and for the power that is a part of you. And it brings you to the outcome of the Hierophant. Now, if you're born on the cusp with Taurus, this is Taurus energy, time frame, April 20th to May 20th. Okay, or if you have Taurus in your chart, this part of your personality will come out more and more during the first half of September. But what you're also going to see with yourself during this time, Aries, is that you're looking at what is true for you. And you can hear people kind of mock what is true for you and say, oh my gosh, that's so silly, or they'll never make it, or, this is just ridiculous. And that could be true for some people. It doesn't have to be true for you. It is saying here, this is my passion, this is my fire, this is what moves me forward, this is what has me aligned with my soul and my gifts. And that is the path that I'm walking here on this earthly plane in this time. What you're going to see for yourself during the first half of September is that you're really moving towards success, financial independence, a place of prosperity and abundance within yourself. It will take time, yes, but you're also learning how to kind of wear many different hats, how to balance things, and then saying to yourself, what is true for me? You are passionate, you are creative, you are stepping into those gifts of passion and creativity, but you're also learning how to celebrate yourself and also learning how to say, this is what I want. This is how I need to move forward for me. This is the dream, and this is, how I'm opening the doors to this dream for myself and for what I need to see. Yeah. Make sure you rest, because this can be a time, the first half of September can lead to a burnout, because you can be so focused, so driven, so determined, and then also feel so overwhelmed. So just be aware of that. Working with others is going to be important, but taking others' opinions over what is right for you, that is going to be something to be mindful of, because you can be kind of worn down. And as you're worn down, it can make you more sensitive, and it can make you feel emotionally more easily hurt. So just be aware of that as well. Let's see what Spirit has to say here. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the turkey, and it says, honor your own time of harvest. Offer your gifts and blessings as service to the greater good. And I have to say, this card would confuse me when I first started using these cards, or for quite a while afterwards, because I was like, okay, honor your own time of harvest, right? Harvests come in at different times, but if you plant pumpkins, pumpkins have their harvest at a certain time. If you plant tomatoes, tomatoes have their harvest at a certain time. This is your own time of harvest, because you're not a vegetable, right? This is you letting yourself bloom into your power, bloom into your creativity, your tenacity, your beauty, your brilliance. And then as you bloom into you, and as you transform, and as you embrace your blessings, you offer your gifts as blessings, as service to the greater good. You're not sitting there saying, oh no, I'm just going to keep this all for myself. You're letting yourself shine, which can be the hardest thing to do, because as we let ourselves shine, we let ourselves open to the criticism of others. It moves us then to our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, here we go. We have universal light. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. We are connecting with greater light, greater understanding, but also with this sense of being part of the bigger universe, being part of something bigger than ourselves, which is going to help center us into what we want, how we want to move forward, what we're looking for. And it brings us then to our energy to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And this is the 6 of Wands. So the 6 of Wands is saying, hey, listen, be mindful of elevating somebody else into a higher knowledge than your own heart, or than you are giving yourself. But this is also the energy of, I see this as spirits hey, listen, be mindful of bravado. Be mindful of this is how we are successful. So this is how I'm going to be. But it doesn't align with your heart. It doesn't align with yourself. Okay? You are the general of the tarot, right? The Aries energy. Aries is the god of war. You're ruled by Mars, the god of war. So it doesn't mean that you're here to create war. That's not it at all. What it means is that you are a person to break down barriers, to move forward, to go after, what is right for you and where you need to be in your life. You're not going to take no for an answer, right? You're going to move forward, of course, in love, in kindness, and respect, but being determined and being focused. And here it is kind of I have to be tougher, right? I have to appear tougher, or more in control, or more I know more than I actually do. So here, it's not a bad thing to ask for help. It's not a bad thing to be well, I just don't know, type of energy. And then when you don't know everything, because none of us do, not elevating somebody else to be oh, but they know it all, so I'm just going to listen to them. So just be mindful about that, because there can seem to be this little bit of I just want somebody who has all the answers, and nobody has all the answers, right? Even if we sit in meditation for hours upon hours a day, we will still come up with so many questions. It moves us then to our subconscious spirit message, and that is the Canary. And it says, step forward now and sing your own song. There is power in finding your voice. And that's what you're doing during this time. You're seeing your time of harvest, meaning you don't have to be like everybody else. You're not a tomato, right? And you're also embracing your voice. You're letting yourself move forward in that knowledge. And as you do so, you're seeing what you want to say and how you want to move forward for you. And you're changing your ideas. And that's a beautiful thing. It moves us then to our chakra energy. and that is self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. And what you're going to see is that you're trusting your gut, you're trusting your intuition. And as you trust your gut and your intuition, you are going to kind of like have a calming down, right? This is feeding yourself in a healthy, loving, compassionate way, eating of the earth, and kind of like what grows from the earth, what eats from the earth. That is how you should nourish your body and your soul and yourself. And here it's listening to your gut, your second brain. It's listening to the way that you want to move forward in your life, like what you're looking for. And if something feels wrong, it's like, ooh, that doesn't feel right. Okay, it's like, well, why? Like listening to your intuitive understanding is going to be a very important part of you. And also just kind of like, even if you held your hands together like this, and you made like kind of like a little energy ball, energy circle, and just held that near your tummy, that can make you feel really good. That can make you feel really centered and kind of calm things down for you. It brings us then to our energy to be mindful of. And this is the Two of Swords. It's that energy where the advice is you need to see the path kind of like less traveled. And with the Two of Swords, it is looking at things, and we can get caught up in the trap of what this is what everybody does. This is how you're supposed to do it. And what you're going to see here is that you are setting yourself free in a very real way. But you'll also be pulled back and be like, oh, well, people might not understand, or it's not what everybody does or how everybody does things. So obviously I don't get to have my dreams, right? I get to just kind of stop being silly and move forward. And Spirit is saying here, no, your dreams and your passions, they matter. They might not become your 9-to-5 job, right? They might not become your career, and that is perfectly okay. But what you are seeing is that you are opening up a new world to you. And as you do that, you're finding your voice and you're moving forward in it and you're transforming. And it brings us then to the Fool. The Fool's energy of taking that leap of faith, of going after what it is that you dream of, what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for you. And knowing that, yeah, taking the leap of faith, that's hard. That can be overwhelming, but it is so necessary and it is so beautiful. And the Fool is subconsciously, you know that you're at a new beginning part in your life, right? And we can go through that multiple times a month. We can go through new beginnings so often within our own cycle of being. And it's not saying, oh no, I can't. It's saying, well, what newness, what passion, what insight is coming forward for me? And how am I opening up that door to that discovery? All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Have a blessed beginning of September and a blessed life. Bye.